and you realize how steep that track is banked, man, I'm telling you, when you get a track that size with that kind of banking, when it's hooked up, it's hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. We've seen some phenomenal racing there this year. It's going to get better here in a couple weeks. It's big money. It's go time. It's a heavyweight championship fight. Someone's walking out of there with a $4,000 check.
Check or cash?
Cash, however you want to. I'm. You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Excuse me. These allergies are killing me. Let's see here. Man, I've got shooting from the hip here. Just because I've been out. I came in from the track 8, came down here, fired stuff up, technical difficulties, freaked out. Sandy saves the day.
I always save the day.
I don't know. I
just had to reset a few things.
Chapter. That's the word I was looking for. Chapter. Thank you, Roy Bain. Yes, not era. Chapter. A new chapter in track history is where we're at with Southern Oregon Speedway. Yes, Devin, you can camp at the track. That is welcome, Devin Patterson. There's plenty of camping room. And the campground, I don't even think they should call it a campground there. I think it's more of like a party ground.
Pull up a space.
I'd call it a party ground out there because when you're in Southern Oregon, it's...
Now, do they camp down there in the pits, or do they camp up above?
Yes and yes.
Where the parking? They just camp wherever they can. Oh, okay.
Just like going through downtown Portland. That's what you see.
Pick a spot.
Yep.
Now
pick a spot.
Go for it.
With less trash.
Are there restrooms out in the pit area?
Yes.
You know, that's like God's country
I
down
just
there.
don't
There's nothing but stars out there. That's it.
The place is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It really
you're
is.
away
I
from
love that
everything.
facility. I love the buildings.
You don't have to worry about noise.
That's right. There's no noise regulations. I mean, you're outside.
Well, from what I have been told, actually, by some people that work there, there actually is. They do have rules. They do have a curfew.
What is the
curfew?
curfew?
Do they enforce them?
When we're done racing.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But you know
That's
what?
the curfew.
1:30 in the morning was the latest.
Yes.
They don't enforce them.
They don't.
Apparently, there is a rule.
Well,
but
it's
they
so
just
far
don't.
out of town.
And that's just it. And you know what? You're not going to enforce something unless somebody complains about it.
Right.
Unless it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The prairie dogs might complain. That'd be about it out there.
I think so. I think
There's
so.
nobody. There's no houses.
Well, what's
within.
great is I
It's
see
in a
that when the
couple
drag
miles.
racing's done, they're making it just in time for the feature races over here.
You know, they do
know?
come over
They
and
do.
they finish up the evening at the dirt track
Yes, they
after
do.
they're done. Yes.
They're all loaded up, ready to go, and they have nothing better to do. They
And-
hear engines, so they come over.
Now,
And then
what's
come over to the concessions and get some good food.
the last time, Gary, was it you or Ed was telling me that they finished up over there? They came over.
That was Ed.
Okay, they had never been
Yeah.
over at the dirt track. They heard everything going on, and they're like, I think we'll go over there and check it out. And they did, and they just went, whoa, wait a second. We love it over here.
He hung out with Ed for quite some time. I went up a couple times. That was the night we were taking the helmet around.
Oh,
It was
okay.
that night, and that's why I remember being there during that. But
Well, Medford did it right. Medford, White City, whatever county that is. They definitely did it right by their
it's a
community.
whole motor complex
It
out
is.
there.
It
It
is.
is.
Devin Patterson says, got it. I'll probably bring my trailer down. I would highly suggest that, Devin Patterson.
And Moxie Crew's going to sleep with you. Is that okay?
And he says the county is happy to have them there. So
Yeah.
the
right
county supports that racetrack big time.
Oh,
It's
well,
maintained like a state park.
Okay.
I mean, with the bathrooms.
And that's another thing that I like about is the maintenance is top notch.
It is.
The maintenance, they just really, you go into clean bathrooms.
When you walk in, it's like walking into a small. I want to say it's like on a NASCAR level. You walk in, you got the big grandstands that are the concrete and they're up above the track, and you look down. It's just the whole feel. It's a neat feel. It really is. Been a very interesting year, and like I said, the new chapter that we're kind of a part of with Mike bringing us in. I'm glad that we reached a deal over the winter, and it's been a great experience.
Yep, I like working for him. I like the track. I like the fans and drivers. They're excited to have us.
Mm-hmm. We like the fans and drivers most places we go. I mean, we're all doing the same thing. whether I like a driver, you don't, or whatever. That's the fun part about our sport. It's the fun part about our sport. When we go down to Bakersfield and you see the fans, one guy's
They're
rooting
like,
for another guy.
Roxy's here again. I mean, it's awesome to go. I love Bakersfield.
And we're only there once a year. We're only there once a year, and it's one of my favorite racetracks in the country just because that surface is so unique.
Oh, my goodness, it is.
The location of Southern Oregon is what I love about it. It makes it so unique. I mean, it's just every track has got something. I'm excited about being at Southern Oregon this year. It's been, I'll tell you, it was weird. It was weird just to know that I wasn't going to drive 20 minutes down the road and go to a place that you've spent 43 years at. Now you're going to a place where you don't know the history. You've got to learn all the drivers' names. You've got to learn who's who and what's what. It's been a fun year. It's been a trying year at times. It's been very interesting. It's been educational. But it's been a good time. And that's as we wind down the season with these big races coming up, championship nights, the Cottonwood and, the R. Charles Snyder Salute, $5,000 win for modifieds. You think we got late models coming? Wait until 3 weeks from now when we've got the R. Charles going on, and there's going to be 80 to 90 modifieds there for 2 days.
Did you read BJ's?
Yeah. Yeah, you were in the pits. He says, can you read that out, Sandy?
It says, I'm pretty sure I remember what night you're talking about. I'm not as young as you think I was in the pits. That's BJ.
He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let's just say,
BJ, you and I need to get together.
You know what? BJ's only a few years
stories.
younger than us.
He's quite a bit younger than I am.
He's only a few years younger because he went to school with one of my coworkers.
But to me, it's just, I don't know. I guess it was. Yeah, I just see him, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just in my mind, I had to go back so long. Him and Hillier's kid were they were just kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we all were. But
well, just a couple years difference when you're that young is a big deal. Now that you're
12,
adults and
now we're all adults. Yeah, we're all old. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jim, actually, his dad brought in a hired gun out of Pennsylvania. The guy that's I'll just say it. It was so funny. I mean, I'm going to look like an idiot, but that's not the first time. So Jim brings in Jim Bernheisel from BRC out of Pennsylvania. He built the chassis that they were racing back then. I was crewing for David Hawks. There's 20 cars in the feature. 2 of them are Fords. Donofrio's one, and we're the other. Donofrio's got Bernheisel in. Now, you got to remember, we're running no tops, wedge noses, wide decks, sideboards, stuff that Bernheisel's not used to. Okay, this is stuff they quit running 15 years prior to this deal here. And down the backstretch, racing for a top 5 position, I think it was for 3rd, into turn 3, side by side, nobody in front, nobody in back. All of a sudden, Bernheisel just turns the car to the right, up the hill they went, hits our car, and both cars hit the wall, and they're just tore up. I come running. Now, you got to remember, I've got my hand in a cast. My right hand is in a cast. Again, one of my
fights where he broke
not
his
so
hand.
best moments in life. I've got my right hand in a cast. I'm sprinting. I was standing in turn 3 watching this race. This wreck happens right in front of me. I sprint across the pits wide open. I hit a hole. I go down. My arm lands under my chest. I slide. Okay, I'm running with 2 guys on my crew to the car to fix it. I slide across the pits on my chest with my broken hand in the cast underneath me, sliding across the pits, jump back up, never missed stride, past both guys I was running with, got to the car. It gets better. I grab the front to rip the sheet metal off. I don't have my glove on and slice my hand. Blood is going everywhere, right? Now I'm super mad. The car's destroyed. Bernheisel's out of the car. They're 3 pits over, and I just took a little walk right to the 99 car, and I had to let Bernheisel know how unhappy I was. We had a small flare-up. We'll call it a flare-up there in the pit area, and it was broken up. People talked some sense into us and got everything calmed down. Went back to work on the car. We weren't racing again that night, I'll tell you that. And got over it, left the track, headed out to the highway, stopped to get gas, and who gets out of their rental car? Mr. Jim Bernheisel. Round 2 just started right at the gas station. It was horrible. No punches were thrown. There was
probably because you don't had a gas.
like I said, it was a flare-up. It was a little scuffle, like a scrum, rugby style almost. Some people there were able to keep their heads cool and talk some sense into
Both
couple
parties involved.
of young punks. Me being the majority of that. I was a punk. But it was just. It was one of those moments where you remember that stuff. I don't have bad memories of it. I laugh about it now, but we got the cars fixed. Everybody went racing the next week, but I don't think Jim Bernheisel liked me. I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Probably still doesn't.
I bet he wouldn't if he remembers it.
Corey Penfold.
Yep. He's probably sitting around talking.
Tells the same story, but from his perspective.
Yep.
You know what? I would like to hear Bernheisel's perspective on that because I gave you the PG version. But one of those deals. But
That'll have to be on paper.
Like I said, BJ and I go way back at the racetrack. I remember watching his dad race when his dad first started in a little Mustang 2 with the number 99, the white little Mustang 2 with the blue stripes down the side, and he was really good in that car. Won a lot of races. Yeah, that goes
That's
back
neat.
to the early to mid 80s.
And
we're talking.
this is why we don't want racetracks to close.
No, absolutely not.
These things go back. These stories go back 50 years.
If not longer. Mm-hmm.
Longer, right?
Yeah. So, a lot of excitement going on here in the Northwest. We're in that. The last 5 years have been so weird for the state of just. And I'm not talking about just late models. I'm talking about racing here in the Northwest. Have been so weird with so much transition and competition. You see a lot of tracks in an area that
Competing
should be
for teams instead of working together to
Right.
schedule rotations.
Yeah, you got people stepping on each other. When I think if everybody worked together to promote this sport, it would be so much better. How do you grow something when you're spreading everything out so thin? You know what I mean?
I'd rather wait 2 weekends and see 20 late models at a track or modifieds or sport mods at a track than to see a field of 4 to 6.
Right. Spread it around. Work with each other. Isn't that what
There's
these
plenty of
promoter
fans,
shows are for?
And there's plenty of fans and drivers to go around. Plenty of them. If you schedule around each other.
Right.
Not over the top of each other.
And that's been the biggest problem in the Northwest. I'd say the biggest problem not in just in the West. Because we talked about in the last show, there's not a major series. You got Speed Week. Okay, great. You got guys that run 8 races in 9 days or 7 races in 8 days, and they burn up all their money in that 1 week. And that shows you how much potential there is for a series.
Right.
But it doesn't happen out here because people are too worried about stepping on each other.
Well,
no one wants to step up and put the big money up. There's
right.
The corporate sponsorship is what has to happen first.
It's expensive. Very expensive.
This is one of the most untapped regions for talent. The talent we have in this region, I don't need to say names, but I mean from the young guys all the way to the top.
Yep.
The talent we have is phenomenal. But does it get showcased on a local level? Sure it does. You know what makes me sick? California, late model racing. It's it's hanging on to life support. Open up a Speedway Illustrated magazine. Nearly every issue you see something in there about a California late model driver. Nearly every issue you see something about street stocks in California. Nearly every issue you see something about something in California. No one's writing about the Northwest. Why?